Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Um, so in last session, Gajanan started with like overview of Power Automate, how it looks. Then I believe one simple example C has already taken. But we have like a couple of participants. Those are joined the session today. So I'll again start from like uh, some of the basic things, and we can take certain use cases for today. So whenever we are thinking about different RPA tools, there are lots of tools in the market, like uipath is already at top, then Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, and Power Automate. So when Power Automate, we are just thinking about the Power Automate. People are confusing between Power Automate and Power Automate Desktop. Definitely, there are certain major differences between Power Automate and Power Automate Desktop. So Gajanan has covered or not? Somebody please confirm Power Automate and Power Automate Desktop, whether he has covered. Okay, okay, fine, fine. I'll just start from the things that I wanted to express with you. So whenever we are thinking about Power Automate and Power Automate Desktop, definitely these are two different platforms tools. This Power Automate Desktop was evolved in 2020 September. So around 3 years back, we can say, 2.5 years back. So when that Power Automate Desktop was like evolving, it was basically the purpose of this Power Automate Desktop was automating the different to automations in the desktop, because previously Power Automate was available in Power Automate or Microsoft platform, but that was only for cloud platform. Guys, am I good, or do you want to change the language? Because I'm also I believe some of the peoples might not understand that much clearly. So which language is better, so that I'll meanwhile use that language. uh, I believe Tanmay, are you good uh, with the speed?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah,
uh,
pleasant. Yes, yes.
okay, fine, thank you. So when we are talking about Power Automate and Power Automate Desktop, let me move to the screen. Hope you have already downloaded Power Automate Desktop in your system. How many of you have downloaded this Power Automate Desktop? Please raise your hands. Don't say, but you can just raise your hand. That is possible. Yeah, Dattatra is already done. Uh, Tamu is already done. Then uh, Bhaskar is done. Then Shubhangi. Yeah, Tanmay. Yeah, Tanmay, you haven't downloaded, right? And Pradeep. Okay, okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, those haven't downloaded Power Automate Desktop in their system, I'll just start from the basic things how we can go and download. So already you supposed to have any Microsoft account like Outlook or Hotmail. Do you have Outlook or Hotmail account, or any Microsoft related accounts with you, Tanmay and Pradeep? Can you please confirm?
Yes, Outlook.
Okay, Outlook. So what you have to do, you have to just go into the, you can just go into the make dot powerautomate.com and just enter. So already I have logged in. This is our Forage Technologies account, so that it is already linked with the make.powerautomate. Let me take different browser. So you can just go to the make.powerautomate.com. So depends on your internet speed, it might take some time. Let me take new incognito mode. Okay, so here you have to enter your email ID. If you have Outlook email ID, then you can put that email ID. Then just click on next. Here you have to enter the password. Then there might be some pop-ups. You have to click on S. Now you are into Power Automate platform. So this is the first step, guys, you have to perform make.powerautomate.com. And as you are going into this make.powerautomate.com, you could see this is the screen available. So when we are talking about desktop and Power Automate, so you could see there are my flows option here at left side, then home, approval, create. So if you are relating with uipath, you could see that is the orchestrator. So in orchestrator, we are observing lots of things. In here, we have this make.powerautomate.com platform where we could see whatever we have in our Power Automate. Everything we can observe here, means how to create our process, how we can monitor and all. So hope you are in make.powerautomate.com. Tanmay and Pradeep, you could see we have this make.powerautomate.com. Tanmay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So next step is so this is Power Automate platform, and when we are comparing Power Automate and Power Automate desktop, what is difference basically? So this is cloud based thing. So you could see there are three different, when we are clicking on my flows, we have three different options like cloud flow, desktop flows, and shared with me. So cloud flows are Power Automate flows. Desktop flows are the flows we have created by like downloading desktop application of this Power Automate. And whenever you are sharing the flows from one person to another person, that is shared with me flow. So right now we have to just concentrate on cloud flow and desktop flow. So initially we'll start with cloud flows only, and afterwards as we go at next level, we can get started with the cloud flows. Now, hope you understood this is a cloud flow. So around 400 plus connectors are available for Power Automate. So connectors means what? Connectors means we have different types of automations that are readily available to connect with your automations. So initially you might not understand that much well, but as we are growing, learning this platform, you might understand. So for example, if you want to connect or if you want to automate SharePoint, if you want to automate any other types of, for example, databases, then in that case, you can use this connector. If you wanted to automate Teams, if you wanted to automate Outlook, so all types of things are available here in a connectors. So by using these connectors, we can connect your cloud related flows. So right now we are not going through that. As we complete desktop things, we can go in that. Then second thing is the data. In data, we have a different options available like tables, connections, custom connectors, gateways. So these are same like how we wanted to interact with the different platforms. And this tab is very important, guys, in future, as if you wanted to run your process in attended or on unattended mode, these are very important tabs. So when you are creating your processes and deploying in production, you can observe or monitor by using these options. Don't worry. This is like high level things. I'm not going in deeper. As we goes like one by one topics, we can come again for this. And when we are comparing other tools, why Power Automate is, coming in demand, the main reason is AI Builder. When we are extracting PDF related documents or some things that is very difficult to extract in UiPath, we have very easy and simple steps to extract PDF related things in this AI Builder. So since there are lots of features which are actually available for premium users, we can't see, but for practice, we have sufficient material in Power Automate. So this is a like high level introduction about Power Automate. When we are talking about Power Automate desktop, or what we are going to actually focus in next 2 months, that is a Power Automate desktop. And if you want to have that Power Automate desktop, you have to just go into the My Flows and click on install and just click on Power Automate for desktop. As you are clicking on this Power Automate desktop, your application would be downloaded in your local system. So as you are clicking here, this setup would be ready in any of your folder. You have to just double click on that folder and just follow normal steps as other softwares you can install by clicking next, 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 next like that. OK. So hope you understood how to download Microsoft Power Automate desktop. Tanmay and Pradeep, you hope you have
Yes.
completed these tips. Great. So this is Power Automate. Now, when we are installing our Power Automate desktop, we can, let me close all these tabs. So you have to just search Power Automate. Or just if you are searching Power only, you would see the different options like Power Automate, Windows PowerShell, Power Automate Machine Runtime. So this is one type of robot. What you have to do, you have to just click on Power Automate. So as you are clicking on Power Automate, your desktop application would be open. So this is like first step. Only you have to just search Power Automate and you can see Power Automate application is open. Any doubt, any queries till now? Those were attended like who were attended last session, they might feel yeah it's like already we have done, but for the peoples those haven't started, you can just see whether you are on right or we are on same page. Guys, please confirm whether you are on same page, whether you got Power Automate desktop or not. Any queries, any questions till now? Have you downloaded and installed Power Automate desktop? Pradeep and Tanmay, because actually already Dattatray, Shubhangi, Bhaskar, Tamo already have Power Automate desktop with their system, but Tanmay and Pradeep both, I believe they should have right now. Do you have Power Automate desktop, Tanmay and Pradeep right now?
So, Sunil sir, I have already installed that, but at the last moment it's showing a wrong password. So that's why I stuck there.
Okay, okay, fine. You can change that password and you can get started. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Tanmay.
No, I'm trying downloading file.
Okay, okay, it's working. Do you, if you want to like having any trouble, you can just share your screen.
Yes, yes.
Please share your screen so that we can go faster. If you're stucking. And Pradeep, for password, I believe you can just reset password or you can just check your password and you can just log in. Can we go ahead for the next point? Tanmay, please complete and let us know so that we can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Going.
Okay, fine. So this is Power Automate desktop, guys. Power Automate desktop user interface. Here at top, we could see new flows. Here, home, my flows and examples. So there are certain basic examples how we can automate Excel, PDF, or how to launch Excel, then web automations, UI interaction, desktop automations, all these things, examples you could see in examples. In my flows, whenever you are creating any flows, you can see all these flows are populated here. So there is no any static or any local storage of your project in this Power Automate. Means whenever you are creating any of the process, that is stored in the cloud, that is stored in the your storage of a cloud, not any local drive. So you must you should not worry about what would happen. Okay, so don't worry about what would happen if I'm just missing my data, or if I'm just missing to do something. Whenever you are when sorry,
పోయి ప్రశాంతంగా
Bhaskar,
పోయిరా పో.
Bhaskar, can you please mute yourself?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No problem. No. Yeah. So whenever we are creating any of the flows, your flows would be populated over here in my flows. So there is no any worry about what would happen in other tools, or in uipath. You might observe we are doing certain changes, and if I'm not next time if I'm finding my flows, there is, if you're not remembering the flow, you might have certain challenges. But here you can't observe like that. Here you can see directly whatever the flows you have created, that would be available in my flows only. Okay, and in home there are some of the basic examples like how we can get started. These are the important tips and tricks. Okay, now let us start with the first flow. So when you wanted to create any of the flows, you have to just go into the home and you have to click on the new flows. In settings also you can have lots of things to check, but right now it's not mandatory. No need to work on. Already Gajanan is covered most of things, so I'm not worrying about that. And if in future we need, we can go ahead again back to that. So just click on this new flow. Whenever you are naming your flows or project, this is a project, guys. So this project name should be specifically named. For example, if you are creating flow for, let's see, introduction, so that should be mentioned as a intro, or let's see, some variable related session we are going to take. So this is a 01 dot dash variable creation or something. So this is the flow related to variable creation. So I'm just renaming that as a variable creation flow, and just click on create. So when you are creating, clicking on create, you could see the Power Automate desktop flow is ready, and automatically this window would be appeared or populated. So two things will happen as you are click on create. In my flows, this flow is automatically created, and your flow or project would be open in a one window, one different window. So this is a user interface for your projects. In any of the like technology or tool, whenever you wanted to do certain uh, actions or activities, we have to go for IDE or integrated development environment. So this is a IDE for your project in Power Automate desktop. Now we have same panels like uipath. At top we could see ribbon panel, at left we have action or activities panel, and at right side there is a variable panel. High level, I would say uipath and Power Automate are, most of the things are same. There are certain additional things in a Power Automate desktop. There are lots of advantageous things that is added in Power Automate desktop apart from whatever available in uipath. We have a variable panel, but most of the things are clear. In uipath we have to create the variable type, then we have to put manual conditions, but here those are not required. I'll just go one by one so that you can understand what are the basic differences. But for now, you could see there are three different panels like ribbon, action panel, and this variable or selectors panel, UI elements panel. Now we will start with like simple things about like what are different actions available. Around 350 plus actions are available in this Power Automate desktop. So depends on what actions you want to perform, you can use this action panel. For example, if you want to click somewhere, you can use click action. So as you are searching click word, you can observe there are different click related actions, and depends on where you wanted to click, we have to select specific actions. For example, if we have some browser related activities, then you can use this click link on web page, or click if you want to download certain files from web page, you can use click download link. But in case you have a desktop, let's say window types of things, for example, certain windows are populated and you wanted to click on that window, we have a click UI element action. So that is the basic difference between UI automation and browser automation. If you want to click, that is click activity. But if you want to type certain things, we have a populate activity. So for form, we have different, for desktop related things, we have different actions, and for web related, we have different actions. Now, let us just walk through with high level what are the different actions available. If you want to create in uipath, basically specifically, we don't have the option of like creating or some doing certain options. For example, if you want to create list, we have to create like by variable and lots of things we have to do. But here ready to use materials are available in terms of variable. So you can have like options like create list. If you have like options like trinket number, in UiPath that is not easy. We have to do dot trim and something, all these things we have to do. But here we have ready to use actions available. Then in conditions, actually in UiPath also we have certain actions, or in automation anywhere also we have certain actions like if else, the conditions are same, conditional things are same, only the syntaxes are bit different. We are going through that one by one. Then again, loops, we have categorized as different types of loops. Flow controls. So here we are referring each sub flow or flow and subflow concepts are there. Your all actions would start from running from main. So whenever you are working with, let's say if you are starting your actions or running your project, it would start from main only. And if you want to create sub files or sub flows or sub projects or same like workflow files, here we have to create by using subflow. Now I'll just create new subflow. New subflow means like sub process, you could see. Just click on new subflow, and I'm just starting with variable. You should rename as a subflow one variable. Variable creation. Okay. Now, what are different types of variables, guys? What are different types of variables? Any idea?
Normally,
Yes, Basu.
string, integer,
Yeah, string,
boolean type
integer,
of.
text,
Boolean
sorry,
variable.
list, boolean, array.
The generic type of any.
Generic
Data table.
data table. Okay, that's great. So these are different types of variables available, and we have to utilize as per our requirements. Okay, when we are just thinking about Power Automate Desktop, whenever you want to add or you want to use any variables, we have to set or create variable of that type. For example, in UiPath or in other technologies, we have a already variable panels. If you are creating, then we can change the variable type and all. Already Gajanan might explained the things related to variables. So by using this input output variables, you can create a respected type of variables, like which type of variable you have to create. These are the different types of variables that you can create by using input output variables. But these are like input and output variables. If you want to pass from one flow to another flow, you can use. But in locally, if you want to use any variables, you have to use set variable activity. So first you have to set or create that variable, and then only you can use. Same things we can use in different tools also. We have to create in a variable panel activity, but here we can directly use set variable activity. So how we can start with the set variable activity? You can drag this set variable in your flow and the window would be populated. So this is the name. This is the space where you can put your variable name, and this is the space where you can assign certain values to the variable. So same like assign activity, set variable works actually. So here, if you let's see if you want to set variable name as a fruit name. Suddenly, let me tell you what is my scenario. There are two different things. One is a fruit and another one is a price. So if you wanted to create fruit name variable and then price as a variable. So what would be the type of fruit name? What type of variable we supposed to create for fruit name?
String.
Strings, right? String. So in UiPath we have a string type of variable, but here whenever we are creating a string is referred as a text. Okay. So here we have to create the variable type as a text. No need to do any of the type changing things. Just we can use fruit name, and here you can directly assign name as a, let's see, orange. So this is very simple thing. No need to use any other like logical things. You have to just give the name of the your variable, and you can directly assign the value what you wanted to have. Now automatically your variable type should be created as a text or a string. If you want to create the price as a another variable, again you have to create one variable as a set variable, and here you can use variable name as a price, and here you can put 20. So when you are using set variable activity, the variable type is automatically created depends on your value what you are putting. So again we have some date or string manipulation operations. We will cover that afterwards, but initially you should understand how to define the variable. So by using set variable, we can assign the value whatever you want to have. Now, if you want to see how values are available, you can just use display message. So in this tool, we have a display message to check whatever the values we have available for specific variable. So we can just assign message to this display as a variable name that we have created. So fruit name we have created, we want to see that, and we can just pass the name of that variable. Sorry. So this is the value that is associated with our variable. Now, if you wanted to do certain conditional things, we can do lots of things here. Whenever you wanted to take input from user, we have a display input dialog. So display dialog input is available to take the values from the user. So that is available as a user input. Okay. So we can take put enter. So output of this display input dialog is user input. We have to pass here as a, we can change the display inputs output as a, what we have to change if you want to see what is entered by us. So we can select our variable name. So our variable name is fruit name. Now whatever fruit name you are entering, that would be displayed. Sorry. So here you can select by clicking on cross symbol. You can select your variable name. Now you could see banana is available as a display message. Okay, so by using this display input dialog box, you can manually enter the variable value. Okay, same like input dialog available in other tools or uipath. Now let's see if you want to do certain conditional things like if else or multiple looping things, then you can do same actions by using same operations by doing certain actions available in Power Automate. Now here, let's say we have a price as a 20 assigned. Let's see 20 point something. Price is assigned some value 20.20. And if you wanted to have only integer value, not like the next part, that is 20.20, we are not expecting. So to do that, we have a available action that is a truncate number. So when you are using truncate number, which number you wanted to truncate? Price. And the output, you could always observe whenever you are doing certain operations, there is variable produce the output value. So that is the outcome of your operation. For example, what you are doing truncate number. Truncate number means you have to remove the digits coming after integer parts. Right now our task is we need only 20, not 0.20. So if you wanted to have only 20 number, then what we can do, we can use this truncate number activity. So truncate number activity is used to find only this 20, remove that last 0.20 part. Guys, I'm just going like basic things, how we can do certain operations for text, for number, what are the actual use of this different types, different actions available in variable panel. So if you want to have like only 20 number, then you can just take input for each and every activity. We supposed to have some input value, some output value. So here, what is output in truncate number? Price is the variable that is input, and truncated value is output. And what we are expecting? Only integer part. If you want to have a decimal part, you can put as a decimal part. If you want to have a round number, you can use that. So this is a really beauty of Power Automate desktop, because For other tools, we have to do lots of operations like dot trim and something we have to do or other things also. But here we are getting directly as a truncate number activity where we can see. Let me disable. To disable any activity, we have a just click on right click on just disable the number or disable the action. Here we can take one display box and we can print the price. Okay. Now what we are expecting? Why it is wrong? Any comments?
You have to select the first one.
What is wrong there? I'm just checking how many of you are dedicatedly listening this session.
You
I
are
got
selecting.
yeah, I got 20.20, but I was expected 20. Why it didn't come? Yeah, Bhaskar, you are right. Go ahead, go ahead. Please speak. Why what I have selected?
Actually, you have to select the two variables. So first one it is a string. The second one it is the some integer type of word. So you didn't select the second
Where?
for running.
For display or truncate number? Where you are saying? Where I made mistake or where I should supposed to put value. I was expecting in display message there should be 20 number should come, but I got 20.20. What was the reason? What is the wrong thing in all these three actions? Only three actions we have to consider: set variable, truncate number, and display.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, which is the wrong thing? Let me disable this. Huh? Among these three, what is the wrong thing?
Truncate number or display.
Yeah. Whenever I'm printing the value, most of times we are not thinking about what is the value we have provided for display message. We have provided the value for display message is a price, and already we have assigned value for price is 20.20. So we are using this truncate number activity to do certain operations. So whenever we are performing certain operations on this price, we are getting this truncated value as an output. So in price, what is the value we supposed to put in display message? What value we supposed to put in display message?
Truncated value, correct.
Yes, truncated value, because we are expecting to use activities for our purposes. And if you are doing certain operations and again you are using only previous variable name, then that makes like no sense, because main purpose of this activity is to change this 20.22 only 20. And if you are again referring only previous value or previous variable, that would not work. Got it? Is it right, guys?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes, correct.
what is,
Absolutely correct.
yeah, what was my intention here? Most of times peoples are not checking the input and output value of any variable or any of the actions. Whenever you are taking any of the activities, you supposed to check two things: what is your input and what is your output. So if you are converting your price from whole number to only integer part, so this is the operations you are doing, and after these operations, what is the output or variable what is we are producing, that is a truncated value, and that truncated value you supposed to print. Previously I was giving for this display message as a price, and that was not expected. Got it, guys? Any doubts here? Okay, fine, you understood, I believe, how we can declare the variable and how we can utilize that. Now let's see, if my price, I'm just one more example. If I'm taking both like fruit name and price from the user. Okay, I'm just taking both values, fruit name and price from user. How many display input dialog I supposed to take? Guys, please speak up. Hello. Let me delete everything. I have to take two values from user. One is fruit name and another one is price. So basically to take input from users, we have two different values. One value that is a price name. Another one is a, sorry, first one is a fruit name, another one is a price one. So how many input dialog we supposed to take?
2 dialog.
Input dialog.
Yes, we'll start from initially. So there should be two dialog, input dialog box or display input dialog. One that is for enter your entered fruit name. So this is actually title of your input dialog box. And here is the output that is created whenever you are entering certain values that is stored in a user input. Okay, so here you can just customize your variable name. So directly you can rename by just selecting, deleting the values which is available in between these 2%. You can give name as a fruit name. Just click on name. So another one we have to take, that is price. So enter the price for fruit. So this is a window for price and output. It should be. So whenever you are giving number as a variable, you should put as a naming convention no or integer, or depends on which standards you are following in your organization. But you can put number as a price. Okay, now two things are clear. We have to take the value of fruit name and another one is a price from the user. Do you want to see how we are running this and how it is working? So here, this is the title of your input dialog, entered fruit name. We kept as it is. And here you wanted to enter, let's see, apple. And another value you can enter, let's see, 34. So these are the two values we have entered. At the right side, you could see the values entered. Fruit name is apple and no price is a 34. So these are the flow variables. You could always check whatever values we have assigned for our specific variables. This is the panel where we could observe. Got it? Any questions to use in display input dialog? Now we can take certain conditions, if else, like that. So we'll start with the if conditions. So here we have very pretty clear idea about how we can use the conditions in Power Automate Desktop. We have only two things to specify. What is your operand, means what is the variable name you wanted to put and what is the value of that. So this thing we have to compare. So let's see if we are putting the value of your variable is a fruit name. If fruit name, we have different operators, like if it is equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, all the operations we have in a Power Automate Desktop. For not any other tools, we have this lots of operations available. We have to manually do operations, but in Power Automate Desktop, it is a beauty to have lots of operations is readily available. We don't want to check what is the syntax for less than or equal to, what is the syntax for not equal to. Here readily available. You can just select what is the actions you want to do, what is comparison you wanted to do. If you want to do equal to, you can just put equal to. So fruit name is equal to apple. Okay. If fruit name is equal to that conditions, you have to just put and click on save. And if fruit name is equal to apple, then we can have some display message. This is Apple Store. So here we are just checking the condition. If fruit name is equal to apple, then we have to print certain message. So let us enter apple and let's check whether we are going into the right window. We are not checking conditions for like price. Yes. So whenever this fruit name is equal to apple conditions matches, our specific task is achieved. That is, this is Apple Store. Got it? Now, if apple is not there, we can use one more condition, else. So we can add else in if only. So how I am doing, please check. So if apple is not there, we can take one message box and we can put this is not Apple Store. I'm going very basically, guys, understanding the all participants available here. Now fruit for temporal, I'm just disassembling this price. Only we are going with this fruit name. So I'm just entering other name. It should go into the another loop, that is else. So this is one condition we have used in if. Means if we have certain values is equal to your expected value, then only it come to the that loop. And if that condition is not matching, it will go to the else. This is only for one condition. Let's see if we have two conditions. For example, we have a apple as a fruit name and price as a certain value. Let's see less than 50. If the price is less than 50, then only we have to print, yeah, this is Apple Store and this and it Apple Store and this is reasonable. Most of the people are thinking we supposed to have like proper rates for the specific store. And they are checking both the things. There should be Apple and that should be in reasonable cost. Then only come to this loop. So if there are two conditions, how we can put in if? Any idea? How we are doing in uipath or any other tools? Any idea? I'm expecting from your side some inputs.
Other condition.
Yeah,
add
other
to-
conditions we have to put. So whether we can include in within a if or we have to take one more if, how we can do that? Any suggestions? I'm just expecting something from your side. That might be wrong, right? Doesn't matter, but say something.
The same condition, just to add.
Yep, look, I think.
Bhaskar, please go ahead once again.
Already if condition is there, just to
Yes.
add
Okay.
another.
So here I have
No.
to add one more conditions, right?
Yes, it is possible for.
Yes, perfect. So here what we can do, we can combine two conditions in a one if only. If there are two different variables, we have to compare and we have to change the value as a boolean. So the second operand we have to take as a whether that is true or false. How? Let's see. Our fruit name should be equal to apple. So that is first condition. Got it? Am I right or not? First condition is our fruit name should be equal to apple and price less than.
Less than.
Getting point?
Yes, correct.
So whatever you are doing in Power Automate, you have to put the condition between 2 percentile and equal to that should be true now. Whenever you wanted to compare two conditions, when you wanted to check two conditions, you have to use this in a combine. So price, I believe variable name, let me check. Sorry, our name was different, no price. So I have to put that variable name. Okay, so right now you could see if fruit name is equal to apple and number price is less than 50. If that is true, then only it will come to the if condition. Means if our conditions are matching, then only we can do certain operations. Getting or not?
Correct.
So let us run this bot. Enter fruit name apple and price is 40. Yeah. Hello, this is Apple Store and this is reasonable. Means if the price is less than 50, we can purchase that item. Got it? How to use multiple conditions in if? If there is a single condition, then no worries. You can directly put the condition. Right? But if there are multiple conditions, you can just think how we can use. Guys, getting or not? Going tough or how? Specifically for like Tanmay, Tammu, you are like I think attending this session is first time. Tammu, you can say something if you are good or you are just not comfortable with our current topic. Tanmay.
Oh, no, sir. Getting.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So if you have doubts, you can just ask me. We'll go with very simple example. Forget about this. We'll take one more simple example. Have you done this or do you want to perform now? I'm expecting you should do simultaneously. Dattatreya, have you done?
No, sir. Actually, I'm just observing.
Okay. If you have, then we can get started with this multiple condition because this is very important.
Okay.
One for text or string and another for number, and you have to do certain variable comparison, value comparison, if conditions, etc. Now, one more data type I wanted to show you, that is a list. So list is nothing but the collection of similar types of things. So let me take one more workflow. Yes, 02. This is a list. Now, if you have 10 different files available with you, for example, in one folder, you have a 10 days report file and you wanted to get that files and download that files. Okay, do you understand what is my point? We have one folder. Let me show you one folder. So let's say this is a POC folder. We have 5 different files, and all these files, we have to store all these files name into one variable. Okay, so how we can do that? We have two different options. We can store that in an array, and we can store that as a list. Let me tell you the difference between array and a list. So whenever we are using as an array, that is a fixed number of values, and in list we can add number of things. There is no any limitation about the size of the list. Okay, now if you want to store the list in one variable, how we can do that? To use list in Power Automate, first we have to create a list. So whenever you are searching in variable panel, we have different options related to list: create new list, add item to list, and shuffle list, merge list, reverse list, sort list, clear list, remove items, one or multiple items from list. So these are different options available for you for the list, and list is the most used variable type in Power Automate Desktop. So first, let me tell you about list. So list is a collection of the objects which has no fixed length. Means you can add or you can delete items from the list. Now, how we can declare the list? So list means there should be values like, let's see, list of countries. Very similar example. So how we can say list of countries like India, comma, China, Mexico, Peru. So this is the list of countries. So when we are saying like list means you are just thinking about the number of things that are of similar type. For example, let's see, a list of countries, list of uh, different sports, list of files, list of folders. So these are similar kind of the collection. Now, how to utilize this list in our process or in our different flows? So first thing is, until unless you don't have list, you can't use or you can't utilize the operations of list. So how to create list? You can use create list. This is the variable generated after you are using create new list activity. You can put list as a country list. So as you are creating this list, initially this list would be blank because we are not having any values, and it should be blank. If you want to add number of values into the list, you can just search in actions as a list, and there are activities like add item to the list or delete item from the list. So you can use add item to the list, and you can add item name as a India, and here you have to select the variable which we have created for creating new list. What is the name of variable, guys?
List country.
Yeah, list country. So I have created list country, and again I wanted to add one more item. Let's see, China. Again, you have to create the name of country, list country. Mexico. Here you can again. So these are the three items. Those are available with our list. Now these three items are already added to the list. If you wanted to go one by one item, then we can use for each activity. So we have for each action available in Power Automate. Whenever you are taking power, any activities, you have to think about what is output, what is input. Here, which value you have to iterate. Any suggestions? Which value is supposed to iterate?
List country.
Yeah, list country. So we are iterating with the list country. In place of current item, we can customize that, or if you wanted to say put as it is, that is okay. So current item means whenever you are going through one by one entry, it should be populated one by one. So just click on save. So what is happening here, guys? Here we are having three different countries like India, China, Mexico, and we are going by one. First it will come as India, second China, third Mexico, like that. To see, we can check by using display message. So by using display message, we can check current item and we can run the bot. So we have added India first time. So first time we are getting India. Then for second loop, it's coming as China, third loop, Mexico. So these are the like how list is working. If you see, if you wanted to see only first item of the list, how we can get the first item of the list? So you have to put the index of your item. So list country is our list. And in that list, we have a zero. For zeroth index, we have India. For one index, we have China. For two index, we have Mexico. Are you relating the index number? Guys, did you understand what is the list and how we are utilizing that list concept? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So list is nothing but we are adding the similar types of things or similar type of collections we can add, and we are going through iterate whenever we require. For example, let's say we have 10 different values and we wanted to go one by one, then we can do for each. Now let's see, we have to define statically. We have to define the list statically. No need to do this add list item to list or create new list. We directly create, or we can directly set list variable. No need to do all these things. You can directly create set variable, or we can directly assign activity. We can take set variable. Here we can put the variable name as a list type. List fruit. And here we can assign value of your list as this in percentage symbol, to percentage symbol, rectangular bracket, and whatever the values you want to assign, you can put single quote, for example, apple, then other fruit, orange, then comma, banana, this is actually a declaration of list. Whenever you wanted to create a list, you supposed to do in a 2% symbol, you have to make one curly, rectangular bracket, and in between you can use single quote and the number of values you wanted to assign to your list. Now let me disable these actions. Those are used for creating list. And here I have to pass which variable? Which variable I have to pass?
List fruit.
List.
List fruit is the variable we have created. So we have declared the list of a fruit and we are just checking whether it's coming one by one. So this syntax is very important to create your list, because we have already different actions available to add the item, create the list, but there are multiple actions you wanted to perform. But in place of doing that, you can directly create one variable, set variable, and you can directly assign the values to your list. Hope you understand what is text variable type, then what is number, list, array. Also you can use the same, but we are mostly working with the list in this Power Automate. Any questions meanwhile? Team, if you have any questions, queries, please try to ask so that we can be in better position how we are going. So these two things are like basic things about variable declaration and all.
Variable. Okay. So
Hmm.
if condition, you can assign if you add any multiple conditions. What is the
Okay.
next step? For example,
Yeah.
this point of view.
Yeah. So currently we are just going through the basic, like how we can assign conditions, how we can check the conditions. So next part is we have to do operations. Let me tell you what is the next option. For example, let us see there is one company who is checking the prices of different fruits. Okay. And if I have assigned you one task, that if the fruit name, let's see, there are different types of fruits available like apple, banana, guava, something like that. And my condition is in Excel file or at certain data sources, we have a different fruits available, different prices available. Let me tell you in that way. Okay, so we have two columns, right? Fruit name and prices. If my condition is if the prices for the apples are lesser than 70 rupees per kilo, then only I have to purchase the apple, otherwise not. So what we have to do in this condition, we have to apply this condition for our data. For example, if the fruit name is apple, first condition is true, we have apple, but the second condition is not true. We are expecting the prices should be lesser than 50, but our price is a 70. So this condition is not successful. It's going to else. Means we can't purchase the apple or that specific fruit. If this condition match, then only we can go into the specific website. Then you can just uh, buy that apples, and next step will be going on. There will be lots of steps available in between this if and then condition. Here we are going for like basic things. In future we are like having lots of use cases where this if condition would be needed. This is only to understand how we can utilize this if condition. Got it?
Yes, understand.
Yeah,
True.
means this is checking how we can apply the conditions.
Yes,
What
correct.
to do after apply condition, that is bigger part that we are going to see in use cases. We have to take certain examples how we can like utilize if the condition is like that. This I'm going to take one use case in next session. Since this is first session, I'm just expecting everybody should like start with the basic things, how we can use conditions like basic conditions.
Yes, that's correct. So I think in the UI path actually you can add multiple conditions.
Then we can't start with the use case. Our main purpose of today's session is understand variable concept, how we can set the variable, how we can compare, how we can put that conditions so that we are good to start with one of the use case that is coming up tomorrow. So hope you are good with these basic variable types like integer or number, then text, string, and list. Is it clear?
Yes, it is clear.
Great. Now, second important basic thing is a date manipulation and string manipulation. So in UiPath or any other technologies, we have lots of things to do for string or data manipulation. But in Power Automate, we have a ready to use material available for date or string manipulation. No need to worry about conversion things. We have date manipulation activity like get current time, subtract dates, add to date time. So these are the three basic activity available related to date time. And for string, we have all the necessary activities needed for your text operation. For example, if you wanted to trim text, if you want to pad text, crop text, get subtext, join text, split text, pass text, replace text, all the operations can be done by using available ready to use material. So if you want to use trimming the text, you have trim text. If you want to append line to the text, you can use that. Means readily available actions are available in Power Automate for date and string manipulation. So let us start with one more subflow, that is date manipulation. So for date manipulation, we have these three actions which are actually needed. First action, which is always needed, that is get current time. Sorry. So for getting your current date and time, you have a current get time activity, get current date and time. And here you have to check current date only or current formats you can select as per your requirement. Got some message. Okay. So in Power Automate, date manipulations are very simple. If you need only current date and time, you can select that current date and time. If you want to have only current date, then you will get only current date. Do you want to see how it works? When you are taking get current date time activity, your output is current date time. Let us check with the display message. What is variable name? Current date time. So let us run small workflow. So how it is coming? Your date and then your format 12 AM. When you are selecting current date time, if you are checking current date and time, let's see. Getting the difference between current date time and date and current date. When you are using current date, you are getting the format as a 12.00.02 AM. And if you are checking with date and time, you are getting actual time of current, depends on system zone. So we are right now 26th of August and 11:31. If you want to convert this current date time or your date time format into your required format, for example, DDMMYY. Most of times we need formatting sub date like DD, MM, YYY like that. So if you want to have this format or depends on your requirement, you can customize that format. So here we have convert date time to specified custom format. You can use that. Our value is current date time, that is input value. And here you can choose which format you wanted to have. Standard means you want short date, you want to long date. You are getting sample value also. Tuesday 19th of May. If long date, if you want to short date, it's coming as a 5th of 19th of May. If you need long time, it is coming this way. If you are getting full date time, this is coming like this way. So as per your requirements, you can use this convert date time to text activity, and you can find your expected date time format. If you want to have different formats rather than available formats, you can use dd.mm.yyyy. So you can customize that format also. In UiPath, it's very difficult to convert from one date time to another date time. We need lots of efforts to make as per our requirement. But here we have readily available actions, and here you have to select formatted date time. Here we can just select. Now we'll get our value as a dd.emm.yy. You could see same value we are getting. If you want to change that as a in place of ddmmmyy, if you want to have only YY and triple M. Triple M means month, May. Then that format also achieved by using this activity. Yeah, 26th of August 23. 26.August.23. You can change as per your requirement. I have used dot in between these two, like month and day. You can use as per your requirement. Then again, if you want to add to date time. So you can add number of days, number of minutes, hours. So our current value is date time, current date time. And if you want to add 2 days, you can just put days. So what is resulted date? Guys, what is resulted date that we are expecting? If we are adding add to, what should be the result?
28.
28.
Yeah, let us check how it is coming. We have to select resulted date. 20. Let's see how it is coming. Yeah, it's coming as 28th of August. Am I right? So I used just hours. You can change that as a minutes, times, years, months. So that customization is also available with this add to date time activity. So subtract date is also available. Hello. Am I audible?